me back to my early days, and I can share one incident, if I may. So I was fortunate to be picked up by a company called ITC, which put me through a management training program in my early years. And we were two of us from the same school or the same college which got picked up for this assignment. I was, I think, in the top 20 of my batch, and the other person who got it was the award winner of the batch, the number one student of my batch who got this job. So I used to look up to this guy. I used to go to this guy to make notes, to study during the exams. I used to copy his notes and say, this is where I'll get all my education from. I used to always take advice from him for my studies. And this is the guy that I went to get any answer that I didn't have. If I couldn't solve a problem, I would go to him and say, hey, listen, you must know this, give me the answers. And then I got selected into this management program with this friend of mine, and the two of us got there. And then again, we had our first examination in our postgraduate program. The examination was a one-on-one session, 20-odd minutes with the principal. And the principal, like Ted, the head here, the principal had this opportunity to spend 20 minutes asking you 20 random questions. 20 random questions. I got some really silly questions. I got a question as, what is a hamburger? Yeah, and I said, what's a hamburger? It's a burger. They're like, what is a hamburger? Is it made out of ham? I said, it could be. He said, but is it? So I said, not necessarily. I said, does a burger have sesame? I said, not necessarily. Should you have lettuce? Is it a patty or a cutlet? I said, cutlets on the bone. It should be a patty. Are you sure it's a patty? Yeah. Is it grilled or not grilled? Those were the kind of questions that I got on a hamburger. I came back out of that session with my principal, and I felt I'd answered maybe 10 of the 20, and I'd probably answered 5 wrong, and I'd probably not answered 5 at all. So I came back saying, hey, listen, not too good, right? And then I met my friend, who was the top of my class in my previous place. He came back of this 20 minutes, and you can believe how he was. He said, he aced it. He was like, I answered all the 20 questions. I'm dead sure I've done right. This is the best I've had. I'm going to top this. Okay. That same evening, the results would come out on the notice board outside our class. And the results, typically when they do come out, we were just 20 in our batch, so it was a one-page notice that would get put up. And when that one-page notice got put up, I went to the notice board and started looking from down, right? You look from, have I got an F or a E or a D or whatever? And I'm looking from down, and I couldn't find my name. And I got an A+. And my friend, who came out saying 20 on 20, actually got an F. So I was perplexed. I didn't know what happened, right? I couldn't understand this. So that same evening, I went back to the principal, and I said, listen, our roll numbers are next to each other. We're from the same college. Maybe you mixed it up. I don't think I did so well. This guy did. And I know that because he's always done well, and I haven't. And our principal sat me down and said to me, it's not about what you know. I said, what do you mean? He says, it's about how you behave when you were asked questions. You answered what you knew. You said you don't know what you don't. You were humble about it and said you learn what you don't. And I'm sure if I ask you now, you would have those answers of those that you didn't have answers for. And at the same time, you were sincere in your answers. Whereas the other person knew each and every answer, but was ridiculously arrogant in his answers. There was a learning that I got that day. Knowing it all means nothing. How you go about living your life, what attitude you keep, the humbleness in your journey will take you a long, long way, even if you don't know things. It doesn't mean that when you've been asked a question that you can go back and say, I don't know, and don't do anything about it. When you don't know, you go back and you research and you find the answer. It's as simple as that. There's no big deal. You can. But that attitude tells you where you can go. And for me, that learning is a principle that I've used in life going forward. We're still friends, this guy and me. Incidentally, and I don't know if it's the right thing for me to say, we worked in the same industry for a long period of time. But incidentally, I surpassed him. Incidentally, he reported into me. Incidentally, my career grew 3 times of what his career grew by, but he was the topper in my class. So I'm not taking away from the topper in this class. Please don't get me wrong. Yeah. All I'm trying to say is that you have the opportunity if you missed one today. Those who came second or third today, don't think you've lost. Yeah. Maybe you don't have your results yet, but don't think you've lost. When you do, make the most of what you've got. With that, I'm going to leave you with my parting thoughts. As I said, I'm going to take about 15, 20 minutes. Not too many more to go. So I'm going to leave you with a parting thought. You know, this is another story I heard, and I must share this with you. So it's about you know, this person in a village who kind of had the answers to everything. Yeah, when you go to that person, he always gives you the right answer. So the village community, with the head of the village, in India, the head of the village is called Sarpanch, those of you who know that, yeah. The Sarpanch of the village got the people in the village together and said, let's test this person out and make sure that he can't get the right answer. So these wise men sat together and thought of a question that could never have the right answer. So the question they thought of, and they said, let's get a pigeon, a live pigeon, hold it behind our hands, yeah, and ask the guy, is the pigeon going to fly or is it dead? And if the guy says it's going to fly, because it's behind our hands, we're going to break the neck. So it's dead. And if the guy says it's dead, we're going to make it fly. So the guy's going to lose. Yeah? On that note, they met the person who had all the answers, called this meeting of the village, got this pigeon, did the whole exercise of asking the question. And you know what the guy said? The guy said, the choice is in your hands. And that is truly where you are today. The choice is in your hands. What you do out of your career from here on, the journey that you make in your college, the person that you become, the child of the parents sitting here, or the parents tomorrow to be, the choice is in your hands. Please reflect well and progress as is said on the board and is the theme today. But I thank you for giving me the opportunity. I thank you for allowing me to be here to speak to you on such a gracious day. It's a day of celebration. I'm sure you will make the most out of it. It's a day of sorrow as well, because you may not see some of you for a period of time. And let me tell you, the world has changed a lot, and you have the ability to meet each other more often than you can. In the past, it was much, much more difficult when I was graduating out. I didn't meet some of my college mates for 20 years, till I went back to a 20-year graduation ceremony of my school. And I found out that, oh, good Lord, I hadn't met half of them in the last 20 years. I don't think you should do that. Make the most of it, and keep the choice in your hands. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Gaurav. Each year, we at CIS offer scholarships based on merit and financial need to students joining us in grade 9 and grade 11. While we support them through their journey here at CIS, we believe that our responsibility goes a lot further in giving wings to their academic goals and their future. CIS Wings was born from the idea of supporting our students in achieving their college dreams. Each year, one student benefits from the CIS Wings Award. This year, to add to our students' effort and to thank you, Gaurav, for inspiring us, our graduating class with your words, we offer from our school an award of 1 lakh rupees to our 50% scholarship student, Prince. Please come down and receive your award. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Prince, on your well-deserved award. Innovation and adaptability, humbleness and service, an unshakable belief in your friends and those whom you lead, and perhaps the thing I've talked about most often in class, the amazing power of paying attention. These are just some of the virtues that you can learn to embrace from our honored guest today, Mr. Singh. Thank you. And thank you so much again for sharing your words of insight with us today. May all of our graduates see such success in their future endeavors.
Yes, indeed, and I want to share from what Mr. Brian Fine said. In listening to Mr. Gaurav Singh, I was taken aback because it kind of resonated with something I always say in my classroom. You get a test sometimes, you don't like your result, you come back to me and say, "Sir, what can I do?" I say, "Well, you come back and you take another test. And if you don't like that one, you take another one again." Because for those of you in my class, you know I always say, don't ever let any teacher tell you that life does not give you a second chance. It's just for you to take it. There are lots of chances out there, and I think listening to Mr. Gaurav Singh and his story was very, very powerful indeed. So thank you again, Mr. Gaurav Singh, for your words of wisdom. And now it's time for a performance from you, class of 2024. And today we have Opal Chetan Sharma. Patil, sorry. Hold on. Just a minute, Opal. Who will be performing a 16th century bhajan or hymn in honor of Lord Krishna, dancing in the enchanted garden of Vrindavan.
Thank you. That was amazing. What a graceful performance, and again, thank you for rooting us in our ceremony and the beautiful traditions of your homeland, India. We appreciate you paying our collective respects to a country that has given our school and our community so much rich history and culture. I now invite our IB coordinator, Mr. Kevin Nielsen, to present the IB Learner Profile Award. Thank you, Mr. Nielsen, for everything you have done to make the IB learning journey a smooth and successful one for our students.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, you stand on the brink of your next adventure, and I want to celebrate a framework that hopefully has shaped you profoundly, the IB Learner Profile. These are 10 attributes that are not just in the school as you look up, but hopefully are something that have prepared you academically and have sculpted the characters of you for the better. You've learned to be inquirers, nurturing your curiosity and developing skills for inquiry and research. You know how to learn independently and with others. You've become knowledgeable, exploring ideas that matter and learning across disciplines. As thinkers, you've used critical and creative thinking skills to analyze and take responsible action on complex problems. You've been communicators expressing yourselves confidently and creatively in more than one language. You're principled, acting with integrity and honesty, and with a strong sense of fairness. Perhaps most importantly, you've strived to be open-minded, understanding and appreciating your own cultures and personal histories, and being open to new perspectives, values, and traditions of other individuals and communities. You're caring, showing empathy, compassion, respect, and you've committed yourself to making a positive difference in the lives of others and in the world around us. As risk takers, you've approached uncertainty with forethought and determination. You're balanced, understanding the importance of balancing different aspects of your lives intellectually, physically, and emotionally. And lastly, as our slogan is, you are reflective, thoughtfully considering the world and your own ideas and experiences. And while each of the graduates today express those attributes, one learner has exemplified each of these attributes. Not only has she strived for grades, but she has truly become a lifelong learner. And so the IB Learner Profile for the class of 20, Ainoa Nel Castile Lanmanier. And I'd now like to call to the stage our CAS coordinator, Mr. Lotfi, who will give us the CAS award. And he slowly makes his way down the stairs. Okay. Let's do it.
Dear graduating class of 2024, dear parents, guests, and CIS board and staff. At CIS, we prioritize experiential learning, offering students opportunities to learn beyond the classroom. In IB, we call this CAS, creativity, activity, and service. This approach fosters personal growth as students reflect on their successes and challenges, preparing them for the real world. I have to say that many of you have done a lot of work that really is inspiring us, but as Mr. Kevin noted, only one student will receive that award. This year's CAS award goes to Raquel Shifali Fernandez. All right, I want to just say a word about Raquel. Okay. I had the privilege of collaborating with Raquel on multiple projects and CAS trips. And her drive, dedication, and to service and diligent work ethic have consistently inspired me. As a CAS ambassador, she exemplified what it means to be fully engaged in planning and preparing for CAS, executing CAS experiences, serving as a true model for her peers. She also took the initiative to share CAS opportunities that her classmates could get involved in. And she offered her advice to her fellow students when needed. Raquel's proactive approach extended to organizing activities during our secondary EL days. And where her meticulous planning and organization were evident. In closing, I wish Raquel and all of you the very best in life. Thank you very much and congratulations, guys. Thank you, Raquel. I would like now to invite Ms. Adina Coxton to come to the stage to present the TOK Award.
A very good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, dear graduates. TOK is at the very core of the IB curriculum because it teaches us not to take knowledge for granted, but rather to act on the knowledge we have with wisdom and discernment. Congratulations, dear graduates, for rising to embrace the true knower in you, whether in the form of questions you have dared to grapple with, or by embracing the ambiguity in real-life situations. TOK, in fact, mirrors life. It challenges us on many levels till we come to terms with the fact that truth itself is relative. And just when we feel certain that we are beginning to get the hang of it, it makes us re-evaluate everything we ever thought we know. It takes courage to even ask the question, how do I know what I believe I know? So congratulations to all of you for having aced this journey with fortitude and resilience. I am proud of each and every one of you today. This year, the TOK award goes to a student who has navigated the TOK slippery slope with amazing agility. In the words of her teacher, Ms. Devika Varma, can you guess who the student is? Okay, here's what she said. She says that this student is an open-minded, strong thinker who can approach things from different perspectives. She has strong reading and research skills, is humble and sincere, and was able to meet all deadlines no matter how challenging. So I think now we can guess, right? Can we? Congratulations, dear Mehati Santanakrishnan. It is indeed my joy to present this award to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Adina Coxton. And thank you also to CAS coordinator, Mr. Ahmed Lotfi, and our IB coordinator, Mr. Kevin Nielsen. And again, congratulations to all of the award winners.
We're going to try something new this year, a new tradition. It's called Giving the Flowers. And here's how it's going to work. And in a moment, I'm going to ask all the graduates to rise. You will find 2 flowers, and you will find 2 people out in the audience to whom you want to deliver those flowers. So think carefully about who those people might be. They should be a major part of your life and someone who is celebrating the fact that you were sitting up here on this stage today. So consider parents, grandparents, other family members, friends, and teachers, or perhaps administrators when you go to deliver your flowers. Graduates, please rise. I'll note that this is not a time for selfies. Please go ahead and pick up your flowers and deliver them. When you're done, please return to your seat. You may go. They're on either side of the stage.
When you said you may go, I felt like it was house games. Forget your water. This is yours. I could use it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've really made this year. I couldn't have gone through it without you, really.
I feel the
Thank
same.
you.
I feel the same. Thank you.
And thanks for your speech. It was really nice.
Oh, I'm glad I had
Thank
an
you.
opportunity to give something. Thank you. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Dubé, I like that new tradition. I think we should keep it.
Yes, yes. I certainly think we should keep it. And actually, Mr. Fine, when you sent them out and you said go, 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 it almost felt like it was house games all over again.
Right, I know, that could have been for house points. I now invite our principal, Mr. Jay Langkamp, to the stage to address this gathering. Thank you, Mr. Langkamp.
It is a privilege to address our students, faculty, family, staff, and honored guests. Thank you for being here today. Today we are here to celebrate, oh, please sit. Today we are here to celebrate the remarkable journey and achievements of the class of 2024. As I reflect on this class, the theme of transformation resonates deeply. As you entered the world, it was in a state of remarkable change. In the years just before you were born, the euro was introduced, Facebook was founded, and the human genome was mapped. After you were born, but before you could talk, YouTube, Twitter, and the iPhone were launched, altering the way we communicate. As you entered kindergarten, innovations like Instagram and the iPad further changed how we interact with the world and how we see ourselves and others. As you entered middle school, global events such as Brexit and India's digital finance revolution with the introduction of UPI demonstrated the accelerating nature of economic and political change. As you entered high school, ChatGPT 3 was launched, though it took many of you a couple of years to find it. In 2020, the start of the COVID pandemic dramatically altered your high school experience and resulted in the global cancellation of exams for the first time ever. The transformation of the world continued while you were in the IB, with India joining the small group of countries who have successfully landed a rover on the moon, and war flared in Ukraine and Israel. In the past 2 years, I have seen how you are not just helpless victims of an ever-changing world. You have the power to be drivers that change the world not just through words, but through meaningful deeds that reflect our core values. The many, many things you have undertaken have been a testament to the positive change you can affect in the world. You hosted the largest SISMON to date, extending opportunities to middle school students to participate in Model United Nations, fostering a spirit of global citizenship and respect for diverse viewpoints. You volunteered your time with our elementary school students and many local schools, sharing a deep commitment to caring and respect, spreading joy, and enriching educational experiences beyond our community. This outreach is a powerful demonstration of how compassion and collaboration can bridge educational gaps. Your leadership in running our houses and a wide variety of clubs, from the cooking club to the cricket club to the financial literacy club, highlights your integrity and respect for diverse interests, but also has inspired your peers to explore and excel in varied fields. This initiative has been crucial to cultivating a dynamic, supportive school environment. Creatively, you have launched YouTube channels and authored children's books promoting literacy while harnessing inspiration and innovation to make learning accessible and enjoyable. Additionally, you have developed apps to enhance safety of others, written the student magazines and math magazines, using technology to drive change for societal benefit, and embodying our core values of inspiration through practical application. Through the Student Council, you have undertaken many initiatives to improve our school while providing valuable feedback to me. You did this in a respectful way while demonstrating integrity. Your efforts in raising funds for various charities illustrates a profound sense of caring and community spirit. On a daily basis, you have shown a deep commitment to each other, frequently over CCD snacks. This has resulted in building a strong, supportive, and inclusive community, showcasing the deep respect you hold for each other. This unity is a foundation upon which you support and uplift one another. I hope this network will continue to sustain you in the years ahead. Through these endeavors, you have not just shown our core values, you have brought them to life, influencing not only our school, but extending an impact to the larger community as a whole. You have shown that you are not merely bystanders in a transforming world, you are catalysts for positive change. Class of 2024, as you step into the future, remember the power of transformation you hold. The changes you implemented, the lives you've touched, the community you've strengthened are testaments to what you can achieve. The world is an ever-changing mosaic, and you are equipped not just to navigate it, but to transform it. Congratulations, class of 2024. May the impact you have in your new communities be as profound and positive as the ones you've had here. Go forth with the vision and courage to continue to be powerful agents of change that our world needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, High School Principal, Mr. J. Langkamp. Yeah, as Mr. Langkamp gave you all that journey through technological changes during your life, I couldn't help but think something as simple as the camera during my lifetime, when you had well, you guys won't know, but you had a camera with 24 shots, and you can't afford to get your thumb in front of the lens, because then you lose a shot. And then when it's all full, then you have to take it for processing and lots of things like that. Yeah, you'll have to find those in a museum these days. But this now brings us to what is possibly, for most of you and for the parents and the grandparents, the most significant part of this afternoon's ceremony, the presentation of the diplomas.
Now, as I explained before, I'm going to ask Mr. Dubé to read the names so as to avoid making any mistakes on such a momentous occasion. I mean, for 2 years, Kieran sat in my room and let me call him Kieran. Just the other day, I heard another student say, "Hey, Kieran." 2 years, I got it wrong. So today is not going to be the first day I get it right. What I will say is this. When you go abroad, if you're going abroad, make sure they say your names right. Insist on it. Wherever you are going, you have earned the right to be there. And long after you leave that place, if you've done anything right at all, your names will remain on the lips of those whose lives you've touched. So it's better if they know how to say it right. Mr. Dubé, please begin.
As we get ready, I would invite our head of school and our principal and our managing director to please get ready. Attending Science and Information Technology. Aban Titi Koshi will be applying to US universities. Abhinav Chris Raja will be attending the University of British Columbia in Canada to study a Bachelor of International Economics. Abhishek Ramji Iyer will be attending Regent's University of London in the UK to study script writing and Adya Raman Shetty will be attending University College London in the UK to study applied medical sciences. Adit Jamnadas will be attending the University of Birmingham in the UK to study international business. Adit Shetty will be applying to Indian law schools. Adit Shashidhar will be attending the University of Warwick in the UK to study business management. Aditi Saligrama Hegde will be applying to Australian universities. Aditya Balaji will be attending ISA Lyon, France to study mechanical engineering. Aditya Machitira Ayappa will be attending Manchester Metropolitan University in the UK to study business management. Aditya Pradeep Menon will be attending the University of Toronto in Canada to study computer science. Advitya Doshi will be taking a gap year. Afnan Mohammed Bantwala will be attending the University of Manchester in the UK to study architecture. Ainoa Nel Castile Lamanier will be attending Centrale Supélec in France and McGill in Montreal, Canada to study for a Bachelor of Global Engineering dual degree. Akila Jagan will be attending Northeastern University in the USA to study criminal justice and psychology. Anika Samadhi Karunaratne Nicholson will be applying to Australian universities. Arisht Sri Srimal will be attending Rutgers University in the United States of America to study biological sciences. Arshia Priya will be attending the University of Bristol in the UK to study engineering design. Asha Walia will be attending the University of British Columbia in Canada to study for the Bachelor of Science Biochemistry. B. Shravan will be applying to Indian universities to study computer science. Cassandra Joseph will be attending the University of Ottawa in Canada to study Biomedical Sciences Honours degree. Fadi Khalilu will be applying to Australian universities to study psychology. Hyong Chang Song will be attending Vrije University in the Netherlands to study economics and business. Kartika Mattipalli Vinod will be attending the University of Queensland in Australia to study Bachelor of Commerce. Khushi Rai will be attending Keele University in the UK to study music production and psychology. Kiran Gururaj will be attending Monash University in Australia to study design IT. Kovid Gopika Ramanan will be attending the University of Waterloo in Canada to study mechatronics engineering. Kusuma Srinivasan will be attending the University of Manchester in the UK to study business management with French. Mahati Santan Krishnan will be attending Pratt University in the USA to study communications design. Manan Kejriwal will be attending King's College London in the UK to study for a Masters of Science in Chemistry with a year in industry. Muskan Chandrakar will be attending Northeastern University in the USA to study for a bachelor's degree in architecture. Naina Naren will be applying to Australian universities. Nihal Sanjeev Pujar will be attending Rutgers University in the United States to study pre-med. Niranjan Mediratta will be attending Columbia University in the USA to study computer science. Nitya Srinivasan will be attending the University of Toronto in Canada to study finance and economics. Opal Chetan Patil will be attending Purdue University in the United States to study industrial design. Paramanand Sidesh Virupaksha Anand will be taking a gap year. Pranav Balaji Krishnamurthy Srinivasan will be attending the University of Glasgow in the UK to study economics, social history and business international. Prince Prince Udirwade will be attending Center College, Kentucky in the US to study economics and finance. Rajat Pujar will be attending the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in the USA to study political science. Raquel Shefali Fernandez will be attending Catholic University Leuven in Belgium to study biomedical sciences. Ria Garg will be attending Arizona State University to study marketing. Rinchen Yangden Durji will be attending Northeastern University in the USA to study business administration and design. Ritu Halbhavi will be attending the University of Warwick in England to study psychology. Robin Schnebelin will be attending ESSEC School of Management, France, to study Master's Business. Ronojoy Bor Pujari will be attending the London School of Economics and Political Science in the UK to study economics. Sakit Gupta will be attending the University of Warwick in the UK to study business management. Sakshi Kudli Raghu will be attending Rutgers University in the US to study finance. Samrud Ajoy will be attending St. Joseph's University in Bangalore, India to study Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science and Biology. Sanjay M.R. will be attending the University of Warwick in the UK to study management. Shahanil Muhammad Salim Abu Bakr will be attending the University of Westminster in the UK to study Real Estate BSc Honours. Shane Martin Isaac will be applying to US universities to study graphical design. Shriya Chandran will be attending Pratt University in the USA to study 2D animation. Shriya Mishra will be attending the University of Warwick in the UK to study mathematics. Siri B. Konanhalli will be attending King's College London in the UK to study for a Masters of Science in Chemistry. Subin Park will be attending the University College Cork in Ireland to study government and political science. Sujin No will be applying to Korean universities to study psychology and media. Sagar T.S. will be applying to Indian universities to do a Bachelor of Business Administration. Utkarsh Sanjeev will be attending the University of Colorado Boulder in the USA to study molecular and developmental biology. Zayan Worley will be attending King's College, London in the UK to study international relations.
Congratulations to all of you, dear students.
So with that receipt of the CIS diploma behind you now, it's not the IB diploma, it's the CIS diploma, and it's accredited around this planet, and it's something to be very, very proud of. So I think you should get another round of applause. Now, we will all be looking forward to the next big moment, which is the turning of the tassel, and to become, well, don't turn it yet, to move from graduates to graduates. But it's not happening just yet. We've got some more awards, and we've got to hear from a couple of representatives of your class of 2024.
In fact, I'd like to play sort of a game, if you don't mind. We like to play games in class, and so why not do one last game today? And today's game is going to be called Guess That Student. We're only going to do one round, so don't worry, it's going to be quick. And I'm pretty sure everybody's going to win.
Okay, Mr. Fine, that sounds like very much fun, interesting. How do you play?
Okay, glad you asked. You see, 2 years ago, on the very first day of IB, I asked all of our graduating students to write me an email to introduce themselves. I saved those emails, and I'd like to read from one. Your goal, audience and graduates, is, you guessed it, to guess that student. And don't be shy about it. Shout it out when you got it. Okay? Here goes. A brief introduction to myself. I have been at CIS for over 3.5 years, and I consider myself to be an open-minded and passionate learner. Outside of school, I am an avid fitness enthusiast that likes to play football, invest, and read. I am also highly interested in the fields of economics, politics, mathematics, history, and sciences, just to name a few. I didn't even get to the, okay, may I continue? Personally, English language and literature is a limitless subject that is incredibly dynamic and versatile. Are you feeling more confident yet in your choice? Here you go. When it comes to my aspirations for the academic year, I truly want to be able to augment the plethora of skills which can get consolidated through this course, including, but not limited to, inferential analysis, critical thinking, evaluation of substantive, that's what you do to me, Rana Joy, reading, and reasoning. I also hope to become more enlightened by the several literary works and their styles which would be covered throughout the course. With regards to the areas I'm slightly apprehensive towards, I feel that my ability to effectively convey my thoughts and all the points of view of covered literature may not be at a sufficient level. Hence, I will need to improve in this area. I am also fearful of not being able to give a sufficient performance to score well in this subject. Well, we see how that turned out. especially initially. However, I understand that focusing first on learning the content effectively, as opposed to the grade, would be a main priority. Overall, I am sincerely looking forward to a fruitful year with this course, and I'm eager to see what adventures lie ahead in IB English. And so you all guessed it, and you got it before incredibly dynamic and versatile, and you got it before augment the plethora of skills. Here we are, 2 years later, looking back now. Please give a round of applause to our valedictorian, Rana Joy. Once again, I'd like to invite the head of our school, Dr. Ted Makrish, to the podium to introduce the Valedictorian Award.
Thank you.
So, a few words. Please come on up, Ronald Joy. This is the cat's out of the bag, so to speak. So, I will avoid my he, she pronouns here. The unveiling has been unveiled. But I would like to start off by just saying a few words about the Valedictorian Award. So, to start off with, at CIS, the valedictorian historically has been the person that the kids and the teachers voted for to speak at graduation. And the head of school awardee was the person with the highest grades consistently over their high school career, and contributed consistently and significantly to the community. For the entire rest of the world, the valedictorian is what we were calling the head of school awardee, right? So the person who has the highest grades, contributes significantly to the community, that's the valedictorian everywhere else. So we took this year to change this so that when the valedictorian of CIS says, I'm the valedictorian, everyone else will say, oh, you were the highest scorer for that. We have a class speaker, which was what we called the valedictorian. There is no more head of school award, okay? Just to settle that out with everyone in the audience in case there's any confusion. And we did make this change way back last summer, and it's in the family handbook, so for all to see for that. Okay, so with that said, this year's valedictorian, our highest achieving student on his high school career, is someone who's been at CIS for some time. 3 years ago, I think, this student and mom came to me as they were concerned about grades and getting high IB results, and informed me they were seriously considering moving to another school that puts grades like, if you don't get 40s, you're out, like that kind of place. My first response to both of them was that I couldn't imagine standing on this stage right now, today, at this moment, and not having shaken his hand and handing him his diploma. Okay? In my mind, at that time, the student was the ideal CIS student. Curious, caring, articulate almost to a fault, right? I think some of teachers were concerned that ChatGPT was being used because words like plethora and other things were rolling off the tongue. It's just you, okay? More polite and conscientious than anyone else I think I have ever met. And I've often wondered if you go home and you're like, hello, mother, hello, father, hello, sister, how are you today? He does. Okay, just to confirm that, okay. How can I help you out, right? So Ronald Joy and his mom and I talked for about 2 hours about test scores, and they're not the only thing in the world. They're important, yes, for sure. But the quality of one's character, how one contributes to the community, about the varied interests and passions, not just academics. The top Ivy League schools send their people here. Universities from around the world come here, and they tell parents and students the same thing. Yeah, you need to do well in school. Who are you as a human being? They want interesting and interested people. People who contribute and build and create. People who look outward to see what they can do, and not just inward at their books and their syllabi. They left with food for thought that day, and later told me they decided to stay at CIS. So this year's valedictorian went on to accomplish many things. He, Ronald Joy, is a major contributor, along with some of his high school peers, as I believe Mr. Dan mentioned earlier, to the actual wording of our vision and mission statement, and we're a part of that team in November of 2022. Ronald Joy is an avid sportsman who is both a leader and a team player who throws himself quite literally into each of his games, sometimes at the demise of his bones. He almost single-handedly, through extreme perseverance, and I will emphasize extreme, led our MUN towards consideration for the prestigious The Hague MUN status. He is also a learner who struggled with deadlines. He, like all of you, fell behind. He picked himself up, though, and he knows when to ask for help when he needs it. He leans into his friends and his teachers when he needs it, as they all lean into him. He is the kind of friend and peer who makes you better just by being with him and investing time with him as he does with you. We all need peers who make us better, who hold us to account, who tell us when we're off track or when we're spot on. This person has made all those he has come into contact with, and I certainly hold myself included in that group, a better person for having the pleasure of working together here at CIS to make it a better place. Please join me in welcoming and celebrating and congratulating Ronald Joy Boparjari as our valedictorian.
Thank you so much for your lovely words.
Congratulations. Well done, man.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm supposed to do this to you.
Oh.
Okay. I have to step out for a photo, so come on back up for a second. Here you go. Photos?
Thank you, Mr. Ted, for that overwhelming welcome. Adaptability, achievability, affinity. While those three words do not necessarily do justice to describe the incredible successes of the batch of 24, I believe this tricolon is symbolic of who we are, not only as individuals, but as a collective unit of agile young minds determined to leave our mark on the world. Esteemed parents, supportive siblings, honorable guests, respected faculty, distinguished teachers, hardworking support staff, ever-helpful admin, and of course, our incredible class of 2024. It feels just like yesterday that all of us completed our IB examinations. Well, maybe it was in fact yesterday. IB students do not necessarily have the best perception of time, as all of you would be aware of. Amidst all this celebration, a common question engulfed all of our young minds. What's next? Having spent the last few months constantly worrying about the submission of our IAs or preparing for the 4 exams the next day, we have not necessarily had the privilege of processing that the most pivotal chapter in our lives up until this point is coming to a close. Amidst geopolitical fragmentation, global economic uncertainty, unprecedented humanitarian crises, and seemingly insurmountable ecological adversities, the world we enter is undoubtedly daunting, to say the least, and uncertainty has the potential to strike with every turn. However, I am confident that each of the 63 graduating members will not only continue to be the visionaries that we've been from the start, but evolve into global citizens eager to spark a generational change. I request everyone to take the 3 words I said at the beginning of the speech, not as random pickings from the dictionary, but rather as a testament to this year's ceremony, reflecting on the experiences, journeys, and memories we have forged to progress multidimensionally. While we are advised not to linger in the past, I'm a firm believer that introspection can lead to elevation. Adaptability. The running joke in our grade, coined by our own Rajat Pujar, is that we have repeatedly been the guinea pig batch of CIS. However, it was through these numerous trials that have been experimented on us that have fostered our holistic growth, ranging from being the first batch to be introduced with coordinated sciences, or to be the first batch to experience the overhaul in the assessment structure this year, to how we have potentially been the first batch to realize that the submission of the TOK deadline was actually a week before. Our adaptability ensured we were able to become more ingenious by the day. This ability has further enabled us to be a batch of pioneers. We were the first cohort to return to the board examination system after 2 years of cancelled exams. We were the first batch to maintain composure during the IB examinations, where we faced unprecedented challenges. I think all of you know exactly what I'm referring to without me having to say it. We were also the first batch to experience the prevalent growth of AI into our education and our daily lives. Time and again, our resilience ensured that we weathered even the most unanticipated of challenges. This is an attribute that I believe each and every one of the individuals over here will carry on into their personal and professional lives. Achievability. Each graduating member of the class of 24 has displayed unfettered ambition with a tenacity that has allowed us to aim higher and make stellar strides towards achieving our objectives. Certainly, there will be a significant difference between the objectives we had at the start of IB and the objectives we have right now. After all, it took me 6 years to realize what I wanted to do 5 years in the future. While our objectives have evolved as much as we have, and frankly, no one is 100% certain of where we'll be in the next couple of years, one commonality that exists between all of us is our capacity to not only establish targets, but also work earnestly towards realizing them. As global citizens, we as individuals often feel helpless to solve the most exigent challenges that threaten our world today. However, to everyone graduating today, I request you to remember that small progress is still progress nonetheless. With me today are not just my esteemed classmates, but also a diverse assortment of nascent civil engineers, computer scientists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, policymakers, economists, business corporates, doctors, artists, designers, musics, any possible profession that you can think of. And above all, wonderful human beings. We are the trailblazers of tomorrow, ready to leave our mark today. Last, but certainly not the least, affinity. Amongst the plethora of captivating concepts learned in Miss Preeti's physics classroom, the concept of dark energy has additional relevance to today's ceremony. Despite not being visible, dark energy provides the very fabric necessary to counteract gravitational contractions and allow the universe to continuously expand. Drawing a parallel, I would like to call everyone to take a few moments to think about the individuals who have been your dark energy, everyone who supported you unwaveringly from the start, and who may not often receive as much recognition as we should give them. While I may not be able to recognize everyone who shaped me into the individual I am today, I'd like to call upon some of my incredible inspirations. To my altruistic mother, my energizing father, my kind sister Rihanna, and my heartwarming extended family, I'm thankful to all of you for supporting me throughout my life. To our unwavering security, transportation, gardening, and housekeeping team, we must thank them for always making sure that we were as protected as possible during our school days. To my dear companions, Arjun, Kovid, Niranjan, Rajat, Zayan, Menin, and Balaji, who have always driven me to improve myself throughout. To the class of 2024, for fostering unity, camaraderie, and togetherness despite all the challenges we faced, we were able to emerge as a single unit ready to leave our mark on the world. To all my respected teachers, esteemed faculty, and ever-helpful admin of the school, who provided me with indispensable knowledge both inside and outside the classroom, thank you for everything you've done for all of us. And of course, last but not the least, to my beloved Ainoa, whose unwavering determination has shown me the art of always going with the flow and who has lovingly helped me survive IB. Dear class of 2024, as we embrace the final moments of our high school careers, here is my farewell message to all of you. In an era that worships competition, we must remember that all of us have trajectories that only we have the reins of. We are in control of our future. In a world where uncertainty is available and adversities appear insurmountable, we must remember to treat each challenge not as a defeat, but as a learning opportunity to help us improve and learn. After all, progress is never linear. In a future where we hold ourselves accountable to incredibly high standards, acknowledging our stellar growth is paramount en route to realizing our lofty aspirations. After all, we must reflect to progress. With that, I earnestly thank everyone for lending me your time and for supporting your children to be the individuals they are today on the stage. Thank you for appointing me with this platform, and I wish everyone the best for their future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Ronojoy Bor Pujari, Valedictorian for class of 2024. Ronojoy, I never had the pleasure of having you in my class, although you remember, I always tell you the door is always open. And I think you just mentioned to everybody why I always left the door open. I never told you why, but I know there was a particular person in my class during your free periods. You possibly would have wanted to come and accompany that person. So I always left the door open to you. And I think you took me up on it once. But now we move to another important point, and we are going to hear from another member of our class of 2024. And to introduce this speaker, I call to the stage our high school principal, Mr. J. Langkamp.
So I have a confession. I hate these awards. Right? We have 61 students here who have built a community, and we have to pick only 2 of them to be able to speak. And while I'm confident that we've picked 2 very excellent speakers, I also know that there are 59 other meaningful stories that we don't get to hear, but that hopefully we will hear over time. Our speaker our class speaker for 2024 is the embodiment of one of the most important virtues in my mind, which is humility. While this person has had an outstanding academic performance, he has never engaged in competition with his peers, and he has always been willing to lend a hand to others. And in his multiple activities, he's always been one of the people who just seem to join in. And with that, I will introduce Niranjan Medarata.
Namaste, family and faculty, and the illustrious class of 2024. I feel genuine pride and honor to be a member of this graduating class. I would also like to recognize the brilliant support staff, including the gardeners, housekeeping, and transportation staff, as well as our beloved teachers, especially the ones who have gone above and beyond, and of course, my excellent family. On behalf of my classmates, we thank you for molding us into the young adults we have become. You know, last night, because of course I made this speech last night, I came across an interesting 21-page long report published by the IB titled, "We Should Be Creating Educational Experiential Learning Opportunities." Now, the reason why I say it's interesting is because one of our TOK titles, the 5th one, read, "Do we need custodians of knowledge? Discuss with reference to 2 areas of knowledge." Turns out, IB loves its experiential learning and was indeed the experience we did get from our IB exams did indeed say that we do need custodians of knowledge. And of course, the exam leaks were a big part of that. However, now that we're done, we know navigating high school, especially this past year, has been a wild mix of stress, sleepless nights, and piled up deadlines. Yet, within the academic whirlwind, we were able to find shared moments of pure fun and enjoyment. We laughed in the middle of exams and the sheer difficulty of papers, collectively complained about the impending deadlines, and celebrated each deadline postponement. In the past few years, we've all bonded over our shared moments of anxiety and stress. We all complained about high school, especially IB, being incredibly difficult. Yet now that we're done, we'll all miss the experience and friendships that we've made. It's actually quite funny how we can feel such different emotions about the same thing. But that's the beautiful part of being a human. We can feel life's greatest and most opposite emotions simultaneously. Happiness through sadness, compassion through suffering, and enjoyment through frustration. To all the graduates, reflect on this experience and think about the ways we can live the deepest and most dynamic lives. As some famous coach said, you should laugh, you should think, and you should have your emotions move to tears each day. Do that every week, and you'll have something special. No doubt, as you all head out the Odium and, of course, Bangalore eventually, you will all soon lead successful and long lives. But as we learned in the past 18 years, or 17 for some of you, the very thing that leads some people to succeed leads others to fail. But remember that life is not measured with the universities we attend, the money we make, or even the breaths we draw. As a famous Hindu quote says, success or life is measured by the breaths we don't draw, the moments that steal our breaths. I can assure you that at least for me, this is one of those moments, one that has taken my breath away. So thank you to the class of 2024 for making my life these past few years so special and giving me all those moments that took my breath away. Thus, I wish you, fellow classmates, all the very best for the new experiences, the new friends, and the breathless moments that await you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Niranjan Mediratak, class speaker 2024. And we are getting to that moment where you get to transition from graduates to graduate, but leave the tassels where they are. And at this point, we want to give thanks to all the people who worked very hard to make this afternoon possible. And to move the vote of thanks, I would like to invite our head of learning, Ms. Shefali, I said the same last year, Shefali Javeri, to the stage.
It is a bittersweet moment. I have taught many of these kids in middle school, and to see them here today is exciting but also a little bit sad because I don't get to see them on Monday morning. Often to remind them, make sure you're in your uniform, tie your shoelace, and please put your phone away. The phrase or the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, comes to mind when you think about today. And with that in mind, we thank Mr. Gaurav Singh, members of the Advisory Council, our board, administrators, teachers, coordinators, everybody that's been part of the graduation committee in bringing this event together. Parents, thank you for trusting us with these young minds. Teachers, Mr. Dan Dubey, Mr. Brian Fine, Mr. Kevin, Ms. Adina, Mr. Ahmed, thank you so much for today. Students, when you get a chance today, please say thank you to somebody who you have not yet had a chance to say thank you to. The same as I say thank you to you. You have taught me that change is permanent. There is nothing that I can expect when it comes to having conversations with you. You will often change perspective, and you will continue to do so for the rest of your lives. Be proud of what you have achieved. Say thank you to those that taught you how to tie your shoelace, those that helped you get ready, whoever helped you remember how to brush your teeth in the morning, but also those people that taught you how to manage your finances, who to call at times of need, and the person that lent you 10 rupees or 20 rupees when you needed that cup of coffee. There is a lot of people to thank. It really does take the whole community to bring you here. And as said by both Ronajoy and Niranjan, thank you to everybody else as well, not just for while you're here at school, but also for all the experiences that you've had outside of school. So thank you very much. Good luck, and thank you everybody here for being a part of this day today.
And thank you, Ms. Javari. Dear students, before we move on to that most eagerly awaited part of this ceremony, Mr. Dubey and I would like to thank you for giving us this honor of accompanying you as you make your transition from graduate to graduate.
Are you ready for the turning of the tassel? I'm not quite sure. Did I hear that? Are you ready? All right. Yeah, Mr. Fine is going to tell you guys a little bit more about the tradition of the turning of the tassel.
We like to just sort of stretch things out. Number one, although the tassel has its origins in medieval Europe, the moment that changed the game and made it mainstream happened in 1901 at the graduation ceremony for the Women's College of Baltimore City. So thanks again to all the ladies.
Turning the tassel from the right side of the mortarboard to the left symbolizes the transition from student to graduate. In some cultures, it also signifies the passage of one stage of life to another, marking the commencement of new opportunities and challenges.
Finally, in some cultures, it is believed that if a graduate accidentally drops their tassel during the ceremony, it may bring bad luck or a delay in achieving their future goals. Was that anyone here today? Okay, good. Tossing your hat into the air after the ceremony, however, is still okay, but don't throw yours until we check the weather. Speaking of culture, students, I'd like to share with you one last thought before you graduate and leave behind your life as a high school student. Consider these my last words to you as your teacher and my first words to you as your friend. Thank you. Many years from now, when I look back on my time in India, it's your names and faces that will surface in my memory. And so, in my mind, you are India to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fine. Very touching indeed. And it's now time for you to take part in this tradition. So, let's begin. Please stand.
And would the audience please rise as well? I invite you now to hold the tassel that is on the right side of your mortarboard. When I instruct you to do so, and not quite yet, when I say go, please move this tassel to the left side of the mortarboard. While you hold the tassel on the right, I invite you to reflect upon your journey so far, all the experiences and learning you have gained, all the love and blessings that surround you. As you move it to the left, promise yourself that you will live a meaningful, purposeful life, a life of reflection and progress, a life that nurtures, challenges, and empowers yourself and those around you. It feels like a house game again, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yes,
it
yes,
does.
it
Okay,
does.
well, that's fine. On the count of 3, class of 2024, you may turn your tassels from the right to the left. 1, 2, 3. Parents, families, distinguished guests, alumni, faculty, administration, members of the School Advisory Council, and the Board of CIS. It is my great honor and pleasure to present to you the graduates of Canadian International School for the year of 2024.
Congratulations to you, dear students.
Congratulations once again, and cheers to your brilliant future. And with that, we will lead the procession of the graduates